Magnussen has made up places at the start, but here comes Sebastian Vettel.
Hello everyone and welcome to round 6 of Tier 1 here around Portugal. A couple of our drivers are having their home race here today, like Templos and Duras. Alex, if you want to take us through the track map today.
Portugal, Portimao, track in the Algarve. What a circuit. One of my personal favourites. But yeah, go straight into turn 1 at Primera, then back into a fast turn 2, then into one of those famous corners, turn 3, hairpin, then a long left-hander at turn 4, all the way down to Torre Vip at turn 5, another hairpin there. Flat out past turn 6, flat round turn 7, then into Samsung at turn 8, then flat round Craig Jones corner of turn 9, then into Portimao turn 10, then another high speed section, then into turn 11 you go. Flat out round turn 12, then another little hairpin at turn 13. The elevation does vary around this track. It's very up and down depending on where you are, but turn 13 it is uphill, then downhill slightly to Sagres, then long right-hander round Gape at turn 15 and go flat out across the line. Bit uphill across the line when you get that DRS open, but there you go, there is a lap around the Algarve International. And like I said, we've got a few lads here who this will be their home race, which is always good to see, and that is Templos and Duras. But last time out, I think Templos slightly bottled it, the win, but we'll ignore that and it's a new day. But
yeah, quick look at the standings then. Martin Zluber out on top by 5 points ahead of Jamal. Phoenix in P3, Templos in P4, and Red Bull, his teammate in Red Bull, Generator in P5. And a quick look at the constructors, Aston Martin leading with Martin Zluber heavily leading the team there. Then Ferrari in P2, Red Bull P3, AlphaTauri in P4, and Mercedes rounding out the top 5 in the constructors. Now it's time for qualifying.
Yeah, I've been checking time trial recently. I've been putting some in as well, but it's been very close. With Seth, Templos, Phoenix, Martin is on there, and I think he's at the top actually in the 17.9s. But yeah, we'll see where we are here today. The time trial is pretty similar to qualifying. Sometimes even faster in qualifying. For some people like me, who I think qualifying is just faster for me. Weirdly, but yeah, we've got Lucas Giles back out on track as well in the Mercedes. Good to see. We've got Jamal out there, should be in the top. Old Hoss, got a new driver, Formula 1, Owen. Going in P12, still in the pit lane, coming out of the pits as we speak. I've got some well-known in there like Martin. Henry also Univane, always a good podium contender is Univane. Same with Henkas as well. So we've got a lot of fast-paced drivers out there. It's going to be close up top. And Martin is going to set our first lap time. Then straight past Primera. Then pretty tricky with track limits on the outskirts there. Then straight into Lagos, hairpin, first hairpin of this track. Then round this long elevated left-hander. And then flat out. Once you get to the top with the DRS, then you can barely see the corner just before the 50-metre board, but there we go, straight into Toyo Vip, round turn 5, and flat round turn 6, into turn 7, still flat out. Oh, he's lifted off. I don't know if he should be lifting off, I can't remember, but past Samsung we go, then flat out, then on the left corner, then into Portimao at turn 10, then into turn 11. Flat out. There's going to be some different lines around there, so you can go wide and in to get a better exit, but could also prioritise the entry as well. But around turn 13 we go, then into Sagres at turn 14, long right-hander, and that concludes with another long right-hander around turn 15 gate, and here we go, keeping it edged in, flat out of course, up, increased elevation, DRS wide open, across the line 16.6. To get us going, that's a good lap time, good banker lap there for Martin, but still, I'm guessing some time to be gained for Martin. In 40 minutes to go, lap times are starting to set, as Lucas Giles is about to finish his lap, as first lap back in quite a while I think, but DRS wide open is going to be 17.3 and across lines in P3. Janata at the moment leading the way in the Red Bull, it's 16.612. For Hully Boss, also known as Janata, the Tier 2 champion. But that's a good lap as well.
Yes.
Seth Martin puts it in P4.
Decent lap from Seth.
6.9.
On board with Duras now,
I should say.
in the Alpine. Icky Robbo slots in P8.
On his first race in Tier 2, and he's putting it in P8 in Tier 1 at his home Grand Prix. But yeah, I think his aim is to try and challenge the points, but it's going to be close up there. And the 16 winners today.
Yeah, interested to see where Jamal can put it in the Ferrari. Obviously we saw last season Spinner in the penultimate lap, which cost I think it was 10 plus the victory, wasn't it?
Yeah, 10 plus costing the victory in the penultimate lap of the race. And that ended up with Lewis Piper winning the race, who is the reigning champion. But yeah, I'm looking for 10 plus. He did end up getting the win in that last season, which came in China, but took him quite a while. And I think this is one of his best circuits, especially in the last game. I'm not sure about this game, but he is currently in P4. Also Formula 1 Owen, I'm pretty sure it's his first lap here in Tier 1, puts it in P5. That's a good lap, 16.9. A lot more to come from the Haas driver, so we'll see him later in qualifying. Puts it above Seth Martin by just under 2 hundredth.
Yeah, Jamal purple in the middle sector. As the Mercedes gets out of his way nicely. Mercedes of Seth Martin as Jamal flat out on this right-hander takes the short line up to the line. P7.
17-0. P7.
Is Seth going again? I think he might be.
I think Henry's on the lap as well, just running out Sagres and now turn 15, so we'll see where he slots it in. But I think a bit of a mistake there from Seth, cost him from the double run strat. But here we go, Henry should be in the top. Is he going to be in the top? Puts it on provisional pole, 16.4, 2 tenths ahead. That's lovely from the McLaren of Henry BWK.
Very nice. Enkaz. I believe he's either going to box or start his next lap, and I think he's going to start his next lap.
Yep, just started deploying, and straight into Primera he goes, into turn 1. Let's see if he keeps it within the white lines. And here we go. He's done it pretty well. And that's where I want to be, going into Lagos. Hits the apex nicely, gets on the power. Pretty nice as well, long left-hander then now. all the way. He's going to have that DRS all the way down to Toyo Vip.
Purple.
Lower elevation. It's purple in sector 1 for Henkas, currently in P4. He's doing a good job at the moment. He might have a bit of traffic here. Hopefully he gets out of the way. Around turn 6. Now turn 7. And he's going to go into Samsung. Who slightly missed the apex, but it might be just a cut on a strategy. I'm not sure. Hard to take his corners. But rounds Craig Jones at turn 9. Then into Portimao turn 10. Rounds turn 11. Flat out. Should be from here. As he's still going purple in sector 2. It's 2 tenths up at the moment from Henkas. Bit of time to gain in sector 3, but going to go around Sagres. He's going to complete his lap. Is it going to be provisional poles for Henkas? He's setting purple sectors all over the place at the moment. 10 minutes to go in the session. I'm pretty sure these are used tyres from Henkas, but he ran out a long right-hander of Gate at turn 15. But here we go, DRS. They cross the line, puts it in P2, so 16.5, and that's a nice lap from Henkas. Just puts it a 10th above Huggy Boss, and now a 10th behind Henry in P1. But yeah, nice from Henkas.
Yeah, Phoenix is on his first flying lap as well in the Alpha Tauri. See what he can do. I'm sure he will be towards the top. He sets purple first sector.
Yeah, he's done toy of it very nice there. He's got on the power, got on the curb, then now rounds it into Samsung. Goes slightly. Pretty sure everyone's missing the curb really, as I think it might just unsteady the rears, but at the moment it's going nicely. Going into turn 9 and now round Portimao, then turn 11. And flat out, it just looks very quick from Phoenix,
nice.
Got to say. Round sector 2, it's very clean at the moment. Round turn 13 he goes. He's going to round out turn 14, Sagres in just a moment. Long right-hander, just got to keep it in there. When's he going to get on the power? He has right now, but here he goes, flat out, all the way round turn 15 Gate. And here we go, he's going to round out, and he's going to go across the line. Is it going to be provisional pole for Phoenix on his first lap? Here in Portimao, yes it is, it's 16.3. Phoenix F1. He's back on top, and Nova Gibson just puts a 16.3. That's a good lap from Nova Gibson. I know he'll be pleased with that one. He was practicing with him earlier, and yeah, he said he's got to be lucky to get a 16.3. So there he goes. The Alfa Romeo puts it in P2. He's going to be very happy with that one.
Yeah, and obviously coming back from a win in Australia, so he's going to want to continue that record. Hopefully, get a top 5 this time. Lucas Charles is nearly second down, riding with 10 plus, who is 3,000ths up, but it says it's middle bit purple in the middle sector. See if that's true as he crosses the line.
As round Sagres he goes. However, he's going to get on the power. He did hit that curve as first round, obviously hit the curve, but it doesn't really matter anyway. But power down, round Gape he goes. Long right-hander, then up the little hill you got there. DRS and across the line, 16.7. Nearly a 10th gained, doesn't move anywhere, keeps it in P8.
Seth
Martin
activating the DRS.
Also on a lap, he'll be around Nova's pace, as I saw earlier, but he's going to round out Tory Vip. Let's see how clean his sector 2 is in just a moment. Now, right-hander, slightly keeps it on the power this time actually, but into Samsung he goes. Does get on that curb slightly, but flat out round Craig Jones corner at turn 9. And round Portimao. Oh, bit of traffic there. I think that's the Haas of Formula Owen. That's going to interrupt his lap and he's invalidated anyway. But yeah, that's that'll be frustrating for Seth. There's Jamal. Is just rounded out Samsung corner and now left into Portimao turn 10. Takes it quite a deep line there, but prioritises his exit. Is now 3.5 tenths up, and it's purple in the middle sector for Jamal. Jamal always seems to be up near the front, top 5 for Jamal most of the time. He's currently doing well in the championship. I'm pretty sure he is in second. But here we go, right-hander, turn 15, flat out. But here we go, DRS, wide open. Jamal the Ferrari, keeping the same position, only gains 2 tenths, but just gets it a little bit closer to 10 plus in P8. Going to want to improve on that lap time. Formula Owen saw him just block Seth Martin earlier on his outlap, which might cost him a few penalty points. but DRS wide open from their own Quentin P10 in his first qualifying session here in fzrracingleague. Now into Toyovip, goes slightly deep there. Gonna struggle a bit on exits with the traction, but now into the right-handers. Now into Samsung. When's he going to get on the power? Oh, big slide of oversteer there. And that's not going to help him on his lap. I'm pretty sure it's going to cost him in sector 2. He's still got 5 minutes in this session. Just under 6 minutes, sorry. And he will be able to get another lap in. Surely he's 2 tenths down. I don't think he's going to be improving on this lap.
Yeah, we'll ride on board with Henry now. And I've got to say, timing's looking very, very close. Very impressed with this.
It is a track that not many practice, I've got to say. And not many leagues do this track, but we have. As it always shakes up the pack a little bit more. But Henry flat out around Gape and now up the little hill. And DRS wide open. Is it going to be finishing a pole? Yes, it is. It's 16.2. We are now in the 0.2s. And you never know, we could get in the 15s by the end of this session if it keeps ramping up like this. Is the track ramping up? Or is it pure skill level? Unu Vane is also on a lap. He's a consistent midfield runner. Here's Unu Vane in the Williams. Oh, big. Bit of oversteer there. So yeah, that's going to invalidate his lap time. Old Horse Rad Bod, currently in P14, is about to cross the line and is starting a lap right now, or is he not?
I think
he is.
Yeah,
not
I think he was down on his time by half a second, and it's just going slowly through it. Univane obviously invalidated that last lap, but he's the only one. Yeah, I think no one else is on a lap, so we'll ride on board with Seth Martin on his out lap.
He's just gonna ride out Sagres, and he's gonna start a lap. Seth Martin is gonna want to improve that lap time by quite some margin. I know his aim will be probably 16.23 where Nova Gibson is. But yeah, here we go. Seth Martin in the Mercedes. He's going to start his lap, and he's going to ride it all the way down to Primera. Let's see how he takes it. Don't want to overstep his mark. Don't want him pushing too hard. It might just invalidate his lap time. It's very strict around here. I think we will be seeing some track limits penalties in this race. But Interlagos rounds out turn 3, but it's been pretty clean so far for Seth Martin. Has he improved in sector 1? That is the real question. And yes, he has, by 3 tenths of a second. That's a nice sector 1 time for Seth Martin. Now rounds out Toyovip. There we go, flat out. Now into the double right-hander. Then now into Samsung. Goes a lot cleaner this time than I saw in his last lap. Did get slightly unsteady on his last lap, but now around the long left-hander into Portimao. Goes slightly deeper, but that does prioritise his exit, gets on the power a little bit early. He's 5 tenths up at the moment. Is Seth Martin is lighting up his sector times, and this could see him easily in the top 5. So he's going to want to improve just slightly more in sector 3 if he wants to see himself on the front 2 rows. But this could be really beating Hencas's lap time, maybe even Nova Gibson.
Yeah, it's
if
looking
he got
good.
a good enough sector 3. As here we go, up the little hill. DRS is going to get it wide open across the line. It's a 16.4 and puts it on the second row of the grid. 2 minutes 40 to go in this session. Seth Martin in the Mercedes has put it in P4. It's a nice lap time for Seth Martin. Has he got enough time to go again? We'll see if he comes into the pits. But at the moment, he is currently on the second row, just behind Nova Gibson in the Alfa Romeo.
Yeah, nice lap there from Seth in the Mercedes. See if his teammate, when he comes out of the pits, can match his time. Is this track ramping up? Or is that just pure pace from Seth? Because Jamal seems to be struggling.
Pure pace. Yeah, Jamal into Primera. I think wasn't great, but he's gone into Lagos corner.
And right, Lucas.
Now, yep. But he's got that DRS wide open. He's a 10th up in sector 1. He's going to improve a bit more than that. But he's about to go into the double right-hander. There's now into Samsung. Jamal really does need to improve on this lap if he wants to see himself anywhere near where he should be in the top 5 realistically. Or is he struggling for pace around Portimao, as he is in Portimao at the moment. Now into turn 11, flat out on the exit, round turn 12 he goes. Well, it is only half a tenth up at the moment. got to improve a lot more on that if he wants to get at least above 10 plus in P9. But it's not looking great for pace at the moment in the Ferrari. It's looking pretty ropey around the circuit of the Algarve, but here we go. DRS is going to get enabled, and where's Jamal going to put it? It only improves by 0.2, and I've disconnected.
Get you back in, but Nova's just about to start his lap, so we'll ride on board with him. Let's see if he can improve. Maybe it could be pole here for Nova if he gets his lap together. Obviously, he's got the likes of Phoenix and Henry to beat. Seth, thank you for the sub, the resub. Appreciate it. As Nova Gibson is 16 hundredths up in Sector 1. So, we'll have to round out this right-hand race. Should be flat out. Tiny little lift there. Is pushing to the maximum though is Nova Gibson in the Alfa Romeo. Lucas Charles retires in the pit lane. Wouldn't have been able to get back out anyway. Seth also retires his teammate in P4. And now is just under half a tenth up. It's purple in the middle sector. Left-hander here, got to stay as close to that curb as possible. Unwind the steering. Now it's flat out for the rest of this lap. Up to the line.
Rounds out. Here we go, long right-hander, half tenth up at the moment is Nova Gibson. Can he be challenging on the front row today? Here we go, DRS right up to the cross line. He does put it on provisional pole. That's a fantastic lap for Nova Gibson. Henry BWK has backed out on his lap and won't be through. Martin puts it on provisional pole. Can Phoenix beat him? That is the only driver out on track that is currently setting this lap sector time to do so. Here we go, DRS wide open across line. Yes, he does. Puts it on pole position. Henry, devastating final lap. Not be able to improve. Henkas puts it above Seth, puts it in P5.
10 plus 3 tenths up.
P7. And 10 plus into P5. That's a nice lap from 10 plus. And I think that's going around out qualifying. It's gone again, so I didn't spawn in the car in the race. But Phoenix is back on top again. Pole position for Phoenix F1.
Yeah, I thought Nova had it then, but obviously Martin and Phoenix were still on a lap. Henry, unfortunate to not improve on his time, but Phoenix is on pole position for Portimao. Yes, I'll try get you back in. But yeah, nice result there for Phoenix, as always, near the top. And who's going to take it from here?
I think it's going to be a close one between Phoenix and Martin. Maybe Nova can cause a challenge, but I think it just depends on strategy. What they go with. Is it going to be a soft compound first for Nova or Martin or Phoenix? I don't know. We'll see. But I think Henry's going to be a bit annoyed that he won't be able to get that last lap in. I'm not sure what happened to him in the end, but yeah, I think that's another great result for Nova Gibson, who won last time out, and he's looking to maybe get another podium here or win. You know, we'll see. Later on, I think Seth Martin could have probably gained an extra 10th there. I've seen him earlier on today, but
yeah, he did get blocked in that lap, though. To be fair, early on in the session, so we'll have to see in the race. Yeah, it's
just a 10th separating the top three, and yeah, it's close in the whole top 10. Really, we'll see how close competition gets.
No formation, I want to remember still, as we yet to turn it back on, so it will be straight on into the race. So get yourself ready. Grab some popcorn if you have any. I can feel the top two incident here today. In turn one.
Don't say that. We're not saying that. We haven't. No one's redeemed. No one's redeemed.
Commentator's curse.
Commentator's curse. So I wouldn't say that.
Well, I am the commentator and I will curse. But here we go as we wait for the lights. And people in paddock absolutely loving it. Alright.
I'm fine.
Boogie boss.
We're all alive.
Here we go. You can hear the countdown. That means we're nearly here for lights out. Here we are.
Yes, here we go. 5 red lights, so it's lights out, and away we go. Phoenix doesn't get away as well as he thought he would. As here we go, Martin is going to try and go down the inside at turn 1. Can he do it? Martin down the inside. No, he can't. But ooh, it's all going a bit messy behind. Going into turn 3, the hairpin, but nearly 3 wide. It's all kicking off. Seth Martin has had a fantastic start. I don't know what happened to Nova Gibson, as he's still fighting for it down in P4. It's still all messy going down to Tory Vip corner, but here we go.
2 Red Bulls.
In session. There's 2 Red Bulls.
Oh, contact. Hasses round of Formula 1
no.
Owen. And these 2 Red Bulls still going side by side. Generator just lets Templos go. Gotta say, I don't know how there wasn't any more contact with those 5 cars going side by side through that fast right-hander there. But we're still alive and kicking. Henkaz on the back of Generator. No position changes for the front 3. Templos up 1 position, Generator up 3 positions as we ride on board with Henkaz. As Phoenix has already pulled a 1.2 second gap to Martin.
Yeah, Phoenix with a good getaway. Martin got all messy behind with Nova. Both Red Bulls fighting. Templos did get away well, but Generator also got a real start. But Henkaz is closing to the back of Generator and going to want him to strike a move. It's not going to be here though.
Yeah, it won't be here, but it might be on this next
in the pit lane.
straight. Might just be an early box for him. As Generator and Henkaz going side by side. A little bit of contact between the 2 there, but Generator is behind, so he might have to cede this position into the fast right-hander, but he goes for the switchback.
Oh!
Sticks it up the inside, but can't quite get the move
That's close.
finished off. Seth Martin's looking to bounce on it as well. Nearly just under 2 tenths behind. Nothing doing there though.
Yeah, be rare to see a move go into turn 10, 11 Portimao, then it's turn 11, but...
I'll go for it here though, he's sent it down the inside. And as that move been done from Seth Martin, gets the better traction, Huggy Boss has to stay behind. But Seth goes a little bit deep in that corner. And that means Generator will have the slipstream. He's deploying a little bit of overtake just to keep up, just to stay within that slipstream, 1 car length. As here we go, Seth got that move done, but Generator is going to get it back on the big start-finish straight as Jamal's getting involved as well.
Yeah, going to Premier side by side with these 2, but Seth Martin also looking to get involved, getting past Jamal. It's going to be all close going into turn 3. As he kept it in there, it's going to be close. Now long uphill left-hander as Jamal does end up keeping the position, goes off there. I think that might be a track limits warning for Seth Martin, but it's close. But Jamal is pouncing on his poor qualifying position. Doesn't seem to be his day pace-wise, but at the moment, race pace might be his thing. Jamal is charging at the moment.
Yeah, he's hunting down Generator, also known as Huggy Boss. And Jamal, yeah, his quali pace wasn't the best, but seems to be making up for it in the race. Templos half a second behind Nova Gibson in P3, trying to snatch that podium position away. But now we focus on the fight for P6, as this fight is allowing Univane to get back into the DRS range as it is enabled this lap. Huggy Boss used a lot of his battery already, trying to defend from the cars behind. So it might leave him vulnerable, and let's have a look now as things seem to have calmed down as Jamal goes for the move on Generator. Is Seth Martin going to get involved as well? I think he's going to have to stay behind. But yeah, everyone down to P7 is on the mediums. Generator on the hards. Seth, Univane, Icky Robbo on the mediums. Duras on the hards. Nax Paulin on the mediums. Old Hoss gone for the soft compound tyres. And the rest of the grid on the mediums. As here we go, Nova Gibson and 10 plus gets past.
10 plus going to be wanting a podium here in his home race in Portimao, but looking good for 10 plus at the moment. Race pace might be just his thing, but Nova Gibson is surely not going to let this one go. He's going to make a move into Portimao. No. Pretty dangerous if you move there.
He lost quite a bit of time on the start, did Nova, but he's probably going to hope that 10 plus can pull him back using that DRS and catch back up, as Formula 1 Owen has now pitted and retired from the race.
That was a bit of a wiggle there from 10 plus. Could be wrong.
As Henkaz is now behind Nova Gibson. Very close indeed. As I don't think there's going to be any moves made on the straight this time, unless there's some further back. But no, I think we're all kept in order in their positions. As now Nova, Henkaz, 10 plus, sorry, all scrapping for that final podium position.
Yeah, Henkaz now getting involved, but it's going to be close in the Williams as well. If these two ahead keep battling, just needs to keep it in there. Any mistakes on the car ahead just needs to pounce, but it's a long game now, 33 laps. It's a race of, we're currently only on lap 5, so we'll see what happens. But Nova's still surely not going to let this one go at all. He's going to want to get on that podium.
Yeah, don't want to fight too much and lose too much to the cars ahead, but Nova is certainly sticking with 10 plus. He's going to get that DRS, and so is Henkaz now. Are we going to see him move this time? Ride on board with 10 plus and look in the rear view camera. As you just see how much Nova gains in that slipstream. Is he deploying? It certainly looks like he is, and with the assist of DRS, absolutely flies past 10 plus. I don't think Henkaz is going to be close enough to make a move. I don't think he is. As Seth Martin can't make the move on Janata anyway. As Lucas Giles gets overtaken by Henry. Let's ride back on board for the fight podium position. Couple penalties already. Duras, Univain, 3 seconds each. Might see a few more as it is only lap 6 and those drivers already do have 3 or more warnings. But it is very tricky, as you said in qualifying, to keep it within the white lines.
He's going to have a quick invite.
Yeah. There you are.
Gracias. Now, obrigado, should I say?
Obrigado in Portugal, man.
Obrigado in Portugal is right now to the final. Long corner.
Seth Martin, tell you what, he's closing in on Janata in that slipstream and DRS, but Janata, he loves his straight line speed settles, but is it going to be enough to keep Seth Martin behind on this straight this occasion? And yeah, it is, to be fair. He does love a good straight line speed setup, as Seth just looks for a move down the inside but doesn't quite pull it off. We could see 10 plus going for a move here on Nova Gibson. Fakes the outside, moves opposite to the inside, just like me and Jeddah the other day. And yeah, 10 plus just has to keep behind on this occasion. As there's a spinner at the back, and is that Henry? Henry, who's normally up near the top, he's down at the back after a poor start. Had a little spin to add to his worries, and Nova Gibson gets a 3-second time penalty.
Ooh. That might be crucial come the end of the race. We'll see. Just 10 plus needs to stick in this DRS.
Yeah,
well,
the
there's
pack
still a
is
long
still
way to
pretty
go.
close as well, to be fair. And Nicky Robbo, is he going to be able to make a move on Univain? Univain has got a 3-second penalty, so he should just let him by. But is there going to be a move anywhere further up the field, as Nicky Robbo does get past Univane with the help of DRS. Yeah, it's nice to see all these cars bunched up as they are, as always. Nice close racing. There's now Jamal, Buggy Boss and Seth Martin all catching up to the back of this little pack here. Little slide there from Henkaz with the rears. Now I've got to say, only losing a very small amount each lap are these from P3 downwards to the leaders. Seth Martin gets a 3-second penalty in that Mercedes, chasing down Genator. That's going to make it harder, as we know Genator's straight line speed is incredible. Oh, it's 10 plus. Nearly has a little spin there.
Little spin.
Little spin. Not a big spin.
Not a big one indeed, but yeah, track limit's going to become an issue, especially at turn 1. Yeah, if you want to be pushing, don't want to be getting track limits warnings, and I'm pretty sure around turn 10 and 11 as well, the exit of turn 11, just bottom out corner, it's pretty tricky to keep it within the white lines, but yeah, I think I should be all good around this long left-hander, but yeah, all on the way down to Toivit, Jamal hunting for some more points.
Look at that, and that's
so
great
close
to see in that cinematic camera, and we'll see it probably around here again, as I think it's 5, maybe even 6, yeah, 6 cars fighting for position on the podium. Final place is up for grabs, and they all want it. As
Yeah, Phoenix and Martin running
look
away
at
with
that
it.
gap. They're both running away for it, but Phoenix more than Martin. He's nearly pulled a 5-second gap. It's incredible the pace. We'll ride on board with him for a little bit, but we'll have to cut back pretty shortly, as I'm sure there'll be some kind of a move on the pack behind. As Lucas Giles gets past Durus and Seth Martin, it looks like he's going to be making a move on Huggy Boss, but you know, his straight line speed wins out once more. Even a 10th behind and he can't get past that DRS train. It's too powerful.
Yeah, it's frustrating for Seth, as Genator is on the hards as well, so his tyres will probably be a lot better very soon when the mediums do die out, but yeah, it's going to be frustrating for Seth Martin. Luckily, Genator always is a bit of a hectic move, but
there from 10 plus on Nova Gibson. Not a big move, a little one.
is going around Samsung now. 10 plus now leading the way in this pack. We'll see if he can gap Nova Gibson.
There's a pack further behind having a little scrap as well. Durus, Lucas Giles, Nax Paulin, Old Hoss, all having a little tussle. As I'm loving how close everyone is. Having flashbacks to Bahrain. Oh, 10 plus in a slide there. Puts him off track, having to correct that.
Might be a track limits one as well.
Yeah, it could very well be Nova Gibson with the speed, slipstream, DRS, and maybe even using ERS. Is he going to get past? Yeah, he is. 10 plus just sits behind. Seth still stuck behind Genator.
Yeah, maybe if you do make a move into turn 1, you never know, it could get re-overtaken down into Toivit.
Here we go. Seth Martin and Genator. A little bit of side-by-side action we saw there. Seth is now deploying his battery. We're going to make the move as 10 plus. Oh,
no.
Seth tries to go around the. Oh no!
Oh no!
10 plus and Nova.
He's not going to be impressed with that one. Not sure who was at fault there. I think 10 plus was trying to make a move on Nova Gibson there, but all else went wrong there.
Aziki now had a little incident there, I think, with Univane. Didn't quite catch the incident between 10 plus and Nova. Not sure if you saw it, Alex.
I am still not in the session.
Oh, well, that's a no then.
As Henkas is now leading the pack between him, Jamal, Janata, and Seth.
Yeah, we'll ride back on board with Henkaz. As Seth just dived into the pit lane.
Yeah, as we know, the undercut is extremely powerful in this game. So we'll see how Seth does on these new hards. I
Lucas
think
gets
Janata's
past
going to feel a
Burris.
bit free there.
Bit free.
Whereas, bit free as Phantom. The McLaren team principals was deemed a commentator's curse for Mr. Lucas Giles. I don't know what Lucas Giles is. He's in P11, bless him, in his first race back. Oh, he's 9P10, getting Durus.
Oh, Wiki goes for a switchback there. Does he get better traction than Univane? Not quite, as he just covers that off nicely as well to ensure that no move is made.
As Henry now chasing Lucas Giles. Lucas Giles' first race back in quite a long time. He's currently scoring 1 point, but I'm sure with Henry chasing him down, might be able to keep him behind. We'll see what Lucas Giles can do in the last stages. He's been a great driver for quite some time as Lucas Giles.
Been here for a while as well.
Been here for a while, yeah.
OGs.
Quite OG is Lucas Giles. He's always done a good job in Tier 1. Good to see him back out here and scoring point today. As it's close between Jamal and Henkas, but yet again, Henkas, I think just keeping Jamal behind. Can Jamal go for a move into turn 1? No, not into Premiera. That's not going to happen. But Huggy Boss also just clinging on to that DRS, which will be crucial for him to beat his teammate and yeah, to be still a shot of a podium position today.
Yeah, as you say, he's on the hards as well.
Yeah,
So
he's on the hards. He's still got
well
better compound to go.
There's Giles in the pit lane.
I think all eyes on Seth as well. What happens to him with the undercut?
Yeah, currently running 14th, but he could see himself up in P3 if the undercut is as powerful as we think it might be.
Yeah, he's in that clean air as well, crucially, so it's going to be a lot better from the DRS train who's stuck in behind Janata. So I think that's why he just shot the gun early, came in the pits, got a new fresh set of hards, and he's running a nice, pretty race down in P14 with a pit stop to his name. Hopefully no safety car for his sake, because he might just ruin it.
Yeah, good, very well
But
do.
Phoenix and Martin gap 6 seconds on lap 14, as that's nearly half a tenth a lap for Phoenix gained on Martin. So yeah, really does have the pace today, does Phoenix. The race pace all his. A bit closer in qualifying, but in the race, Phoenix, that pace
Now,
is just
Univane is in, so we'll see where Seth Martin comes out in correlation to him.
How far ahead is it going to be? Or is it even going to be ahead? Has Seth made any mistakes? Yeah, I think it will be ahead. He's coming on
easily ahead.
onto the final straight. Yeah, absolutely miles ahead. That undercut is absolutely mega strong. So in that clean air, gets past one end, is gapped 4.9, 5, 6 seconds now to Univane. So yeah, I think he's going to gap quite a lot of maybe the top 7 now. We'll see if he can, mainly Janata, but he is going to be on the mediums with that mega straight line speed, of course. Absolute rocket ship is our Huggy Boss. But at the moment, Jamal still struggling to get a move on Henkas done, but Henkas is just keeping his nerve, doing quite a good job up in P3. As Jamal just keeping behind, didn't have that much pace in qualifying. He's done quite a good job in the race, up 5 positions at the moment. But that is with a few pit stops included there. As Henkas has pulled the trigger and came to the pit lane. Oh, bit of
slidey there on the race.
Yeah, I mean, I know it's pretty tricky to get in that pit lane with that elevation change, but he's in the pits. We'll see where he comes out based on where Seth is. So we'll see. But Temper Boss, yeah, he's, like I said, he's also in the pit lane. Who's going to come out ahead? Seth Martin now coming round onto the final straight. Onto
coming close.
Start-finish straight as Henkas comes out ahead. That's crucial for Henkas, but with the cold tyres, Can Seth Martin get past 10 plus? Is absolutely miles behind, but that is with the instant he had, of course. So, but Henkas is the real one here. I think Jamal actually. I think Seth might come out ahead of Jamal, but he's going to have the older tyres come in the race. But Henkas is going to want to get these hards up to temperature as soon as he can. Yeah, it's close between these two, but I think Henkas is going to keep that position at least until the next finish straight, going on to lap 16. But yeah, Henkas got out ahead. That's crucial for Henkas. Just came in the pits probably at the perfect time there. As now Janata's actually caught up to the back of Jamal pretty nicely there. I think Jamal is going to come into the pits anyway.
Martin's in.
I am wrong. Jamal is staying out another lap, maybe going for a bit of the overcut. Martin, like I said, is into the pit lane. Let's see how far. Let's see where he does come out actually. Will be above Henkas. Is he going to actually get Durst as well? It might come out in a bit of traffic here, Martin, if no one else pits. Just wants to be careful. He's coming out of the pits now. He's going to come out just behind Henry. And is he going to get behind Durst?
Nah, stayed.
Yeah, that's probably crucial for him. He's just going to maybe try and get moved on now. He's going to stay behind. No point fighting that one. Martin is fighting for maybe even the win.
10 plus overtaken by Univane there. Univane in the Williams. 10 plus after that incident. I've put his head down a little bit. Seth Martin still sticking to the back of Henkas though.
Top 5 yet to stop, and Durst also yet to stop in this race. I think Phoenix is just wanting to just extend that gap back to maybe Jamal and maybe Vinicki, and yeah, I think he's going to come out quite well in front of Henry if he stops now, and probably going to extend it to maybe even get Icky as well if he's pits, but there's no real need to pit at the moment, no real threat of an undercut for Phoenix. He's running a nice clean old race out front today. As going on to lap 17, Jamal still yet to pit. Huggy Boss obviously is already on the hard, so he's going to be extending this stint for quite a while, so he has a nice medium stint at the end of the race, and yeah, I'm sure Janata will be closing in on Jamal pretty soon, as he already is now 0.5 of a second, and that's going onto a long bit straight. It's actually Janata not doing too bad, 4 down on his personal best, which is quite good actually. 17 lap old cards.
Tampos with that DRS closes in to Univane. Is he going to make the move on the next straight? Got so much battery to play with, unlike Univane. Yeah, just breezes past there into the braking zone. Should get it nice and easily done. It was a little bit
that's a really good exit though from from Univane. Is he going to try and make a move? No competition there, especially going into Samsung. Don't want to be really side by side there, especially it's a high elevation corner there. So, might get your ears a bit out of shape. Nova Gibson is down in P12 after being super 10 plus earlier on. I'm sure that might be investigated by stewards come the end of this race. Finally, Janata is into the pits, but interestingly, on those hards, lasted 18 laps. I don't know what to do. I don't know what Jamal's doing. Maybe going for a very long stint, try and get a nice, clean, fresh stint at the end. But Jamal started down in P9. I'm pretty sure he did. All or nothing for Jamal, and he's going for a different strategy. Might get him a couple extra points. We'll see as Durst and Seth colliding there. Going into turn 1, Seth gets past, but yeah, it's a bit incy-wincy.
Bit of argy-bargy.
Bit of argy-bargy, yeah.
As Martin, nice and easy. Oh, I was going to say nice and easy, gets past Henry there, but that was lovely from Martin. Just allows Henry, went back for the move, but Martin gets that switch back on him. Lovely stuff from Martin there. Very, very smart.
Yeah, Martin knows what he's doing. He's smart in the game. If he wants to gain on Phoenix, he wants to get past as soon as he can, and yeah, just needs to play it cool, keep his head focused.
Phoenix, he'll probably wait till Jamal and Icky come in before he makes his stop. Is Jamal going to be in this lap? No, he's staying out again.
Still staying out. Wow, interesting.
Icky's got to be in, surely.
Ooh, Is Iki Robbo in? No, both staying out on a long stint. The Ferraris
Interesting.
going for something different.
Maybe they goes to the softs at the end. Did they save a spare set of softs? Who knows? Henry's in.
Yeah, finally Henry's in the pits. He's fighting for
Seth and
point or two to stay
Henkas.
after an instant start.
Seth and Henkas are on for a good result here. Depends if this Ferrari strategy works.
Yeah, this is the fight for the podium. But yeah, we'll see if the Ferrari strategy works. Obviously, it's been interesting in real life, but have they got something right here in fzrrr? We'll see. We'll see come the end of the race. But yeah, Seth, he has got a time penalty of 3 seconds for track limits earlier on in this race. But at the moment, his gap's Janator by that time. But Janator gonna be the one to watch on the mediums, and he's closing that gap to Seth Martin quite a bit through some corners. Yeah, I'm going to compare lap times at the end of this lap. Phoenix is into the pit lane, and is Jamal coming in on this lap? We'll see. Where's Phoenix going to come out?
What tyre is he going to go? Jamal is in as well.
Is Iki Robbo in? I don't think they'll be double stacking. I think that'll be a bit silly.
Yeah, but they've got quite the gap, and Phoenix has gone on the softs. Iki's in as well. Yeah, but he's got a nice, decent gap, so it should be easy.
Is he going to get held up? I
don't think
think only just he's gonna be fine. Held up slightly there, but yeah, he's gonna be held up slightly by a second or two. But he's on the softs. Is Jamal on the softs as well? I'm guessing he is. He's coming out in P6.
Yeah, they've both saved a fresh set of softs.
Yeah, I knew Phoenix said. I'm not sure about Jamal, but Templos is putting pressure on behind. They're gonna be struggling near the end of the race. I played a little 35% race earlier on, and they went off after 5 laps or so. So we'll see what happens with the soft runners. But it's going to be close. I think Martin on Phoenix as well, come the end of the race, that gap might close. But Phoenix, I think he has that gap just to play around with it and stay out. But that gap is going to increase for the next few laps, and it might start decreasing come the end of the race. But at the moment, the fight for the podium position. Seth Martin putting pressure on Henkas. 13 laps to go. I wonder who's going to get it. It's going to be close to the Williams and the Mercedes. Templos also putting pressure as well. He's going to want to keep with Jamal on the softs, especially coming in the race. Hards versus softs. Long distance versus short distance.
Kev in the chat as well. Hope you had a nice holiday. There hasn't been a safety car here today. But yeah, I hope you had a nice holiday, safe flying.
Yeah, I hope you had a lovely holiday. It'll be good to see you back very soon. But yeah, Templos, he's losing quite some margin to Jamal. But it's going to be the end of the race, so it's going to have to close in. But we'll see how fast Jamal is. As Janator also one to watch really. He's closed that gap so much on those medium compound to Seth Martin. On the hards ahead, who is currently sitting in some dirty air. Yeah, Janator is proper quick at the moment in that rocket ship.
Flying. Lucas Charles gets past Nova.
I don't think the commentator's curses works. We might have to refund you for being your points. I apologise. You never know, we've still got 12 laps. Sorry, Phantom. And I need to do better. But Nova Gibson's having quite a miserable race at the moment.
Yeah, looking so strong early on. And after that incident with Templos, just never seemed to recover as well. Phoenix smashes in a fastest lap, 1:18.775.
Wow. That's a mega lap from Phoenix.
We'll look at everyone's fastest lap.
He might actually be safe come the end of the race, just because the laps he's setting now. Is that Kev says landing was awful. Ryanair classic. Don't fly Ryanair then. But Huggy Boss, absolutely flying. He's closing down. He's in the DRS to Seth Martin. This is a big battle going on for the final points as Lucas Charles goes off the track and through goes Nova Gibson down the inside. Is he going to get a move done? It's now Lucas Charles still fighting back as Nova Gibson gets past as Natch falling. Retired from the race. I think that's in the pit lane, I'm not sure. But yeah, Janata 3 tenths behind Seth Martin. He's going to go for a move into Portimao, I reckon. This is going to be the first of many, but there we go. Can Seth cause a little switchback? No, it's no battle there, as Janata could be getting a podium at the end of this race. Janata, he's flying.
Yeah, he's flying on those medium compound tyres compared to everyone around him on the hards. Jamal could see him put a light charge in Phoenix, setting fastest lap after fastest lap.
That is crazy.
18.291.
8 seconds is the gap back to Martin. 8 seconds, that is crazy. Martin is setting 20.255s. Phoenix in the 18s. Incredible stuff on Phoenix. Tristan loved his driving in Racer Pro, and here he is doing it in Tier 1, absolutely smashing it. As Huggy Boss is already cutting that time down to Henkas. 10 laps to go. Podium could be his if he carries on like this.
Yeah,
Gap Seth by 8 tenths, now 9 tenths.
Icky Robbo gets past Unuvain. As Nova is going to be able to hang on to that final points position, as Lucas Giles does not have a penalty. So, yeah, he might just fall to P11 there. As now Huggy Boss will ride on board with him for a little bit, as he's now just coming into that DRS range of Henkas for the final podium position.
It's been a nightmare day for McLaren as well, down in P12 and P13. Second to last and third last. Yeah, it's pretty miserable, especially for Henry since the start. It never really went right for him. Old Austin just doesn't seem to have the pace, bless him. But yeah, days will brighten. Get the negatives out of the way, but the positives will come. There we go. Inspirational Alex there.
Wow.
There's Janata already in with a second to Henkas. He's absolutely flying, to be honest. He can't do rope. He's absolutely mental. This bloke was decently paced in
Jamal
F1
gets past
22,
Seth.
won the Tier 2 championship, and here he is in Tier 1 absolutely smashing it in Season 6, but yeah, it's closed that gap. It's already 3 tenths. The grip is absolutely unmatched.
Yeah, Henkas went a little bit deep in there, so that's going to allow Janata to have a nice run in the DRS and the overtake.
DRS, boom, got the position done. Surely into Tory Vip. Henkas going to prioritise anything now. No point fighting it, as the pace from Janata is absolutely unmatched. And can he actually catch up to Martin? We'll never know. We've got 9 laps to go, and with the pace he's on at the moment, Janata could find himself in P2 come the end of this race, and I think that'll be his best ever finish. At least matching his best ever finish in FZR Tier 1, that is. After his success in Tier 2 last season, Janata, with the alternate strategies, quite a few there.
Yeah,
He's on it like a carb on it.
I believe he came into this season in a full-time seat. He did a lot of reserving last season for Tier 1, but then he got that full-time seat at Mercedes, started it off with a P2 in Vegas, now switched to Red Bull. Is it going to be a P3 here, or can he even get Martin? It was just 3 seconds up the road. You can see him at the end of the straight there, as the elevation changes on this track is crazy.
Yeah, he's absolutely unbelievable, the elevation change. It just does make it a little bit more tricky. Especially the corner we're about to go through now with Janata, the long swooping left-hander. When you go uphill, it is honestly crazy how much that really is, that elevation change. It really does affect the car. This one, you can barely even see the corner by the 100-metre board. But yeah,
Makes some great racing though.
Makes some fantastic racing.
Jamal hunting down Henkas now. Jamal on the soft compound tyres. That's Huggy Boss just about to gap a second to Henkas. Henkas is going to need this DRS to try and defend from Jamal, but Jamal seems to be flying.
Going to compare lap times between Martin and Janata, see if he can catch up at the end of this lap. But for now, Henkas just keeping within DRS to Janata, and that is important for him, especially with Jamal absolutely flying behind on the softs. But yeah, Martin is 12.1 seconds behind now, the leader, but he's setting 20.9s. Janata 20.3s, so 6 tenths a lap gained. Well, on that lap for Janata, Jamal is getting past Henkas. There's no real fight there. Softs versus hards, and Jamal. Can he catch up to Janata, or is Janata got it all covered?
Yellow flag, that's Henry. McLaren day goes from bad to worse. Henry seems to have struggled on this track today.
2.4 the gap now from Janator to Martin, as Old Horse gets a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings. Track limits is in the space of a lap. It's got even worse for McLaren. Phantom will not be pleased, but it's a tricky day for the papaya. There's the gap to Jamal and Janator. He's just now just over 1 second. Can he get a DRS on the start finish straight? I think he can. Has he just lost it? We'll see after he comes around Sagres. That is where the detection point is. But it's going around to 15. Has he got it? I think he has. So it's going to edge him closer to Janator, but Janator rocket ship on the straights, we already know. But with that DRS and the slipstream, it's going to just get him a little bit closer, gain a 10th or so, going into Premiere. But 2 seconds the gap to Martin still. Is he going to get it under a second on this lap? 6 laps to go. Janator, can he cause a challenge for P2, and can Jamal cause a challenge for the podium? It's going to be close between these 3 drivers if Janator keeps up the pace and if Jamal keeps up the pace.
Yeah, I'm going to have to see if Jamal can keep it going with the soft compound tyres. We might start seeing him drop off shortly. 7 laps now.
Lucas Giles in the pits. I think he's just going for the fastest lap, might as well. For the boys.
It'd be hard to take off Phoenix though.
Yeah, but if he's going on some... Yeah, actually, Phoenix went off softs. Yeah, I don't know if he's going to get that, to be fair. It's a bit tricky. Maybe a bit low fuel charge on the battery. We'll see what he can do. But Huggy Boss, Janator, 1.7 the gap now.
Yeah, but
can he
Jamal's
get it in the DRS? Yeah, Jamal is closing. He's going to want to close to Martin and see if he can get the DRS as soon as he possibly can. He is using a bit of battery. Jamal has drained his battery, but Janator currently draining it. Was on 50% now, drained it all the way down to 33%. 1.6 now the gap to Martin. Is 1.5, yeah, it's just closing. I think he will get DRS eventually. Maybe when we're going on to like lap 30, but he needs to keep his pace up, does Janator, if he wants any chance of getting P2 in his highest finishing position in the Red Bull.
And keep it in the white lines.
He's transferred. Yeah, keep it in the white lines, that is important. I will check on how many track limits warnings he has got.
Nova Gibson catching up to the back of Univain. It looks like at the worst he's going to get at least 1 point. Can he make it 2? If he gets past Univain, we'll have a look at the penalties. Yeah, it's 3 seconds for them both there. I don't think it could be any higher than that because it goes into 7.1, maybe 2 second gap to 10 plus.
Surprisingly, Janator has not got any warnings yet. That's very impressive, I've got to say. What a guy. Only young, and he's absolutely smashing it at the moment. Up in tier 1, 1.3 seconds the gap, closing even more. Needs to gain just under 3/10 on his next lap to try and get within that crucial DRS. I think he's going to deploy a bit on this straight. Yes, he is. And with that rocket ship on the straights, he's going to close in about a 10th or so on the straights to Martin. I think Martin might be deploying as well. No, he's just saving it up, charging on that battery, just in case Janator does cause a challenge on the final 4 laps. But he's closing, and Jamal also. Still close behind, but obviously won't be able to pass with his bus ahead. That is Janator. It's a very fast bus, I've got to say. It's not exactly a double decker.
I've never seen buses go that fast.
It's a 189. This is.
Is it? What bus are you?
189.
What 189s you seen go 200 mile an hour?
Trust me, I've seen Lewis Hamilton drive a bus.
What, down Castle Road?
He'll be driving away down Castle Road. But he's under a second now, Janator. The absolute mad lad. I don't know how he's going this quick, to be honest. He's absolutely incredible. What a driver, what a strategy. He is definitely, if he carries on like this, I don't want to jinx him, to be honest, so I'm going to just stop speaking.
Oh, he's out of the ice. Oh no, he's not. Just
no, he's not.
There.
Just take a chill pill.
Just prank you.
He's just having a prank, because at the moment, he's absolutely on it like a tank. Yeah.
On it like a tank?
On it like a tank. He is a new one, but here he is, he's in the DRS, thank God for that. 3 laps to go. Let's see what I can do. This is going to be crazy. I once had a dream about this rocket ship coming towards me. It's Generator.
No, you didn't.
He was probably driving it. He's absolutely quick on the straights. He's already up down to 5 tenths of a second. This is a real driving from Generator. What a strategy this is.
Yeah, but this could get tasty now with Jamal in behind as well. 3-car battle. What?
It's
What
getting
happened?
close. It's just getting close. It's just getting close. No one's spun. Just
No
yet.
one's had a little spin.
No one's had a little spin.
Oh, big spin.
Big spin. But 6 tenths is the gap. And we'll see if we can close it. I think gap might have to be around 4 tenths, I'm guessing, going on to start finish straight to get the move done. We'll never know. 5 tenths might be enough with this bloke in the Red Bull deciding to
pits.
break speed limits. As Durst is just off onto soft soil lap, I'm
Bolting
guessing.
some soft
boys.
To be fair, Phoenix is still maintaining that gap and he's pulling that gap to Martin, even on 10 lap old softs.
Yeah, to be fair, Jamal's still fast on softs as well, so softs might have been, tyre wear might be quite good around here for a soft compound. But onto the straights we're going. About to go on to the penultimate lap of the race. The gap is 6 tenths. It's going to get our slipstream, and he's still not using any batteries. Jamal is trying to close in behind, trying to cause a challenge. Can he into one? Not quite, only getting 10th on that straight. Especially with Huggy Ross, aka Genator, in the DRS to Martin, as he's nearly touched the back of Martin there. He's getting that close, up and personal. But he's in the DRS yet again, going down to Sorry Vip corner at turn 5. His time's now lap 31, not the penultimate lap. Sorry, I just read it wrong. My bad.
We can't be having a penultimate lap spin, can we? Like last time.
We're not having.
Is it going to be a repeat? It'd be good for TikTok, but we're not going to have it.
We're not going to have it. I'm not going to have it.
Alright, have you put your foot down?
We need Generator's luck here. He's had a bit of bad luck in the past. Got rid of it. Ken Tier 2 champion. Came up in Tier 1 this season. And is flying like a fin. Kimi Räikkönen, like in Kota. This is what it's like, this is. As he's just getting that wee bit closer. Now, long right-hander Sagres. Can he go for it on this next straight? Here we go. Is he going to deploy this time round? Is he going to try? Is he going to push everything going on to the penultimate lap of this race? Jamal's is getting up close and personal. So,
but Jensen, his straight line speed is ridiculous. As here we go. Is he off for it? I think he's just going to deploy that little bit. Stay ahead of Jamal, but stay behind Martin. It's going to be a last lap shootout.
I think it is going to be a last lap shootout, unless down to Tory Vip is a chance there with the DRS. No mistakes now, will you? Sorry, I'm going wrong way. But he stays behind. 2 tenths, he's there touching his rear left. Oh, it's close out of Tory Vip. As that's probably the slowest speed corner on this track. Now into Samsung we're about to go. Gap 3 tenths of a second, closing in the low speed somehow. I don't know how he's doing that, to be honest. He's mega through the corners still. I don't know how. He's got like one wing on, so God knows how he's doing it in this mad straight line speed, no downforce thing machine. But this little kid is absolutely on one.
He's going places.
He's like me in 21.
Right.
He really is. Literally, you know, it might be a bit far behind here. There's Jamal. Are you going to take it away from him? All his progress.
No, because look how much Jensen gained there with that wing.
He's absolutely just gaining it.
He's gone for it.
Huggy Boss. He's absolutely flying, going to Premiere. He's going to go back there. With a contact there. But it's getting close. Now, going into Lagos. Not into Lagos, that's in Brazil. But now, left-hander. Oh, Jamal might have taken this away.
Oh, he's done it!
It's not the penultimate lap, it's the final lap this time round. But Genator, all been stripped away from in the final moments. Jamal is in the points, it's in the podium position, shall I say. After a fantastic drive from him, Phoenix literally turning to Max Verstappen, 18 seconds ahead. Not stopping in this race unless he decides to conk it at final corner. He's lapping drivers now. But Martin's Louver is now under pressure from Jamal. Is Jamal going to strike one? Maybe going into turn 13. I think that's the final place where you're going to break him one. Huggy Boss is Oh, he's now getting overtaken by Henkas. He's got no front wing. Oh no, disastrous.
Seth Martin could get
for
P5
our
here.
Huggy boss. There we go. Phoenix has crossed the line and has won here in Portimao in round 6. As Jamal is going to round out the final corner with Martin.
Dominant from
Hey,
Phoenix.
this is going to be close. This Martin and Jamal.
What's that Stroll moment here?
No, we're just going to need to calm down because Martin is going to cross the line. Well deserved P2 from Martin, defending it well. Jamal with an interesting strategy in the Ferrari Masterclass strategy has worked very well as Seth Martin isn't going to get Huggy Boss in the end, but nightmare for Huggy Boss. Generator on the final lap. I was proper route for him there.
Still a battle going on here. Nova,
Ooh.
is he going to be able to get double his points? I don't think he is, as Old Horse just runs out of fuel there, coming up to the line. Lucas Giles comes home in P12. It looks like Henry is going to round out the final position as Duras was a lap down, so he doesn't have to complete any more laps. But yeah, Phoenix, absolute dominance. Incredible from Phoenix.
We had a tasty scrap there, lads. I'm not gonna lie, I got a bit lucky there. But yeah, it can all go wrong in just an instance. Well shown there by our mate Generator. As bless his little cotton socks, he was on it today. He was on it. He deserved to be on that podium. But one little mistake can cost your whole season. You never know. It really can.
Yeah, it can. And talking to driver of the day, who's your driver of the day?
I think I'm going to have to give it to Jamal, to be honest.
Jamal?
He is. I am, because he started P9, I think it was. And Ferrari aren't known for those strategies, but he's absolutely done a massive one. Phoenix, I would give it to Phoenix, but I think he's used to getting driver of the day, to be honest. Up at top. So I'm going to change it up. I'm going to give it to Jamal. I don't think he's had it for a while, and he's done a fantastic job today with a great strategy and put it up in P3. Martin also got close up in the end. Good shout as well. But yeah, I'm going to give it to Jamal, the final podium placed man, and that's going to be good for us. Championship, but I think that is the top 3 in the championship on there on the podium, but not in the right order.
I believe it is, yeah. Yes, I'll just get some screenshots for the race results.
We'll get some interviews done in a minute, and hopefully we can get Huggy Boss here just to consolidate him and just give him a pat on the back. I feel bad for him, to be honest.
Quite a few warnings to go through. Oh, just in time.
Also, while we're waiting, we have just announced a new Racer Pro, which is going to be happening on the 7th of August, 7 PM. If you want to get involved, join our server, and we can get you maybe in the lobby with GB3 driver, my favourite GB3 driver, Josie Floke. He's a fantastic driver on and off the track. I think he's actually in the top 10 in Saudi Arabia time trials. We are doing Silverstone now, but yeah, he's absolutely top class, is Josie Floke, and it'll be exciting to see him out with some of our lads here in Tier 1 and maybe some of you who are watching today. But yeah, come join us on the 17th and we'll have a good time, won't we, Ben? Like last time.
We sure will.
Tristan. We will have a good time. We always have a fun time here in FZR. So if you want to join us, come through. We'll welcome you to a little community we've got.
Isn't that lovely?
Ain't it lovely itself?
As I tell you what, we'll get race winner in. Absolute dominant performance. We'll get Phoenix in. Is what's going to happen.
We'll just get him in. Phoenix. I mean, you're probably going to dominate this interview as well, to be honest, because 17.9 seconds. I mean, it's unreal stuff from you. Crazy racing there, but well done. Nice win there. Just take us through your race around the Algarve.
Yeah, I'll start. It was a nice gap at the end, but it would have been smaller if Martin hadn't boxed for hards and gone for the softs. But yeah, off the start, I think Martin actually got a better start than me. I sort of closed that door, but I wasn't taking any chances in turn 1, so I chose to run wide. I was like, I'll take the warning if I get a warning for it. Perfectly fine. I'm just avoiding any collisions this time. And then yeah, by the end of lap 1, I think I'd already pulled out the gap to about a second, and that was purely because I'm running like more downforce. Smashed my ERS a bit on the straight, just to like make sure that gap was there, and there was no chance of pulling back the DRS. And then from there, yeah, it was just nice little race until the end.
Yeah, I mean the strategy as well. I think only a few went onto the soft. I think Jamal did, you did, and I think one more did. I can't remember who,
Icky.
but
Icky Robbo.
Icky Robbo, yeah. But he finished P7 as well. That's a good result from him. But yeah, the strategy. Just talk us through at the end of your first stint. How was your tyres then? Because surely you must have been struggling a bit.
They were all right. So about 68%, I think, was the rear left. So they're not hitting 70 yet, and I think when they're in the 60s, they're still drivable. You're going to lose a bit of time. I think I was losing maybe about half a second to Martin when he was on his fresh hards, which wasn't too bad. I could have gone further, but I was like, there's no point. The strategy says softs for the next 14 laps. That's what I'm doing. I'm not changing my strategy just because of people have pitted earlier or pitted later. I'm just going to do what I know, do what I've practiced.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be close to the end. I think it's the top 3 in the standings as well who are on the podium. But I don't know where we're going next week because my calendar won't load. But how's this going to boost your morale going to the next few races? Can you win the championship from here?
Well, it's hard to say. There was no safety cars in that race, and that's why I think I did so well. When there's safety cars in there, it creates a bit of mayhem. So we'll see. We'll see.
Yeah, I think Barcelona's next. It's your second win this season as well. But
Was that Spain
Barcelona
again?
next.
Oh, I've got a nice little race winner on there last week, didn't I?
Yeah, incredible battle with 10 plus
Yeah,
with Tristan.
Yeah, it was fun. It was fun.
Well, at
Yeah,
least it's
I
a track
mean,
I've already
that's-
practiced.
Yeah, true. But
I
yeah,
mean, that's all from me. Anything from you, Swab, Ben?
no, just dominance as per. But yeah, fantastic race from you as always, Phoenix, and look forward to seeing you for the race against Joseph Loke as well.
Yeah, sound. Take down another pro. We'll see if I can do it. Right, I'll see you guys in a bit. Cheers.
See you later.
Cheers.
Not sure I'll be taking down Joseph Loke. Very,
Probably
very,
a bit too quick.
very, very quick driver.
We'll tell him to do a free stop, and it might be in contention.
Yeah.
Who are we gonna bring in now? I think we've got to bring in Janae, aren't we? Or
Oh,
Martin? Could you know? Let's bring in Martin.
We'll
Actually,
bring in our
Martin.
Martin.
We'll bring out Martin Zuva.
Here we go. Here he
Martin.
is.
I mean, he got a really feisty close to the end, didn't it? I mean, a bit too close for comfort for you, but you end up in P2. Good points for you in the standings, but just talk to us about that final battle at the end there, because that was close.
Yeah, that was. I didn't expect it to be that close because, like, before I pitted for Hearts, I controlled the pace, the 3 seconds behind. No, they weren't catching me. I wasn't catching Phoenix. That was a dominant performance. He did a Max Verstappen here. So yeah, I thought I will be okay if I kept this pace. Easy second place, but they pitted for softs, which I didn't expect because normally at other tracks, which I experienced, like in Qatar, they died after 5 laps and they were gone completely. And now they were alive 15 laps. I could do even more. So I wasn't expecting that. So that's why I pitted for Hearts, which they weren't bad. They were alive on the last lap, but they weren't amazing. And that's why they got me in the end. It was close with Janader, and then I saw they had a contact with Jamal, but yeah, still P2. I'm glad that was like Jamal was like 110 behind me, so I'm glad I kept P2.
Yeah, I mean, Janet was on the mediums actually, so he was just an absolute rocket ship to be honest. There was no explaining for Janet. Unfortunately, got P8 in the end, and P5 in the end. Sorry. After that little incident there, but it got ever so close. But we're going to Barcelona next week, and you two are currently top of the championship. The top 3 got on the podium today, Phoenix as well. But yeah, talk to me about next week in Barcelona and where you expect to line up against mainly Phoenix as well, who is proper rapid around here. But yeah, how do you expect next week to pan out?
Ooh, I don't really know, to be honest. I didn't do much laps in manual laps in Spain. I did some races, but I don't know. I didn't do a single time trial lap. That's why I should go for a race abroad. That was in Spain, so it could be like a trial for me. But I hope it's gonna end up similar as Portugal.
Yeah, I mean, P2 for you today. Little battle at the end. Ben, have you got anything to add?
No, to be fair, nice defending to keep P2 in the end. And yeah, we look forward to seeing you around Silverstone for Racer Pro Volume 2.
Yeah, I think I should attend. I'm not entirely sure, but I think I should.
Be good to see. Be good to see. Hopefully we can see you on there. But yeah, thank you very much for joining us. And well done your P2s today, keeping the championship alive. Well done.
Thanks.
Thank you very much.
See you later. Now,
Right, let's just get our tone down a bit and let's bring Generator in because I'm very upset about this one.
oh yeah,
I might say Jerker, to be honest.
here he is.
Oh, Jensen. Oh God. The things I do see on the podium today, honestly, I am absolutely distraught. I really am. I'm gutted for you because that drive, I've got to give you credit there. That was phenomenal. Honestly, truly phenomenal drive from you. The strategy was absolutely bang on, but talks was about the end there. You're gonna have to do it. Talks was about it.
Yeah. So turn 1, I was side by side with Martin. Got off. I was alongside with him. My front wheel was with his rears, but you know he still pushed me off. So that lost me time to Jamal. So he was on my inside. I had to take a tight line out of that corner, and around that corner it is so difficult to take a tight line. Like, I respect you if you take a tight line. So yeah, I lost it and I couldn't do anything about it really. It was I don't think I got on the power too early. But yeah, I couldn't really do much about it. So it's really annoying knowing I could have got P2, P3, P4. But yeah, instead P5. But I mean, then again, I didn't think Portugal was one of my stronger tracks. So I thought to myself, P5 there, I'd be happy. Even if I'm not happy. Knowing I could have got a lot more, but just got to focus on the next race now and put this one behind.
To be fair, right, you've just challenged championship leader Martin, so that must feel good that you know you had the pace in the end, because that was absolutely phenomenal drive on the mediums as well. Even at the end, you kept it together, kept it close, apart from obviously the final lap. But I mean, it must be good feeling like you can challenge the front runners.
Yeah, definitely. Knowing I have that pace is good to know, because I was starting to drop off a little bit, I think. I can't. What was last race? I can't exactly remember where I finished, but I know it wasn't too amazing. So yeah, it's good to know that I've got that pace. And to be back up there. Well, not back up there, to be up there. But yeah, hopefully I can challenge for podiums again next time I race. So yeah.
Yeah, I mean, thank you very much for today. It's been fantastic to watch you, keeping it entertaining up at the top, with a good strategy there from you. But keep your head up high for Spain. Hopefully we can see you on the podium there. And maybe, are you coming to the Racer Pro, Josie Floke?
No, I don't think I can make it, unfortunately.
Sad times.
Yeah.
Sad times. But thank you very much for joining us, and keep your head up high. We'll see you next week. And yeah, thank you very much for joining us.
Yeah, see you boys.
See you bye.
Now, prepare your ears because it's going to get loud.
You know.
Are we singing?
Seth, P6 in the end. You started P7, ended up P6. Got a bit scrappy at the start with the massive DRS train, but just talk us through it. Talk us through your race.
Yeah, no, it was decent to be fair. I had a good start. I got a little bit of argy-bargy at the first lap, between Templos and Nova, but I kept it clean mostly, and then
Clean.
yeah, I know it's quite shocking, isn't it? Really,
I
but
can't believe you got a decent result.
I know, mate. I'm dead happy, you know. And I got the penalty, and I was like, here, you know what I mean? But
Yeah.
I stayed ahead. I tried to stay in P6 and not have P7 creep up, and I think they were like on 6 seconds, then they got to about 4.6, and I was like, oh dear, but I managed to keep them at bay. So, yeah, no, pit really early for hards, which I think was a mistake, because I think my back left was on like 74% or something at the end, which was like really close to puncture territory, but that was a bit dodgy. But apart from that, yeah, it was a decent race. Quite enjoyable, actually.
Yeah, to be fair, last race you got P4. I'm pretty sure you got. So you could forget about Monza, and your season seems to be on the up. You've just got P6 here as well. So, I mean, surely on the up. in
Every
Spain.
race I haven't
Investigated.
DNF'd, I've gotten a point, so it's good.
Well, you got more than a point here. Got quite a few more.
Yeah,
In all fairness, you got 8.
I did.
You gonna do some. You gonna get some more in Spain, or you just gotta DNF again?
No.
What's
See,
the
look,
plan?
my goal is right. All the races that we had last season, where some of the ones that we've had this season, like Portugal, I DNF last season. Spain, we had last season. I was out of the points, so I'm just kind of going back through all the tracks, and I think I'm decent around Spain. Another P6, P5, P7 should be on the cards, hopefully.
So on that basis, when we go to Monza, you're not gonna finish in the points.
Is Monza a track this season?
I don't know actually. Is Monza a track, Ben? No, I can't remember.
No, it's not.
It's not. No.
Oh, well, you're lucky then. Well, you're gonna finish points for the rest of the season.
I'll have to come up with a new Monza. Australia's my
You have
new
to go with
Monza.
a new Monza.
Australia.
Yeah, you can second this one as well. You could this one can come in second.
Yeah, this was decent. This was.
Yeah. Anyway, right. I better wrap this up because I've got some stuff to do. But
Same.
yeah, thank you very much and
Cheers.
P6.
See you later. So there we go. That was round 6 of Tier 1 around Portugal. And we thank you all. It was indeed. Thank you all for watching. And we hope to see you tuning in to our Racer Pro stream with, not Tristan, that was last time. Joseph
That was
Loeb.
my last time,
That
mate.
was last time. See you all later. Have a good day. Have a good night.
Bye bye.